What's up, invincible entrepreneur? Blah, blah. Yeah, let's try that again. Invincible entrepreneurs. I apparently shouldn't talk so fast. Happy Saturday, you guys. All right, so I wanted to do this bonus session for you guys. I'm gonna be totally honest. I don't usually work on this business on Saturdays. But so I was like, okay, if we're going to work on Saturday and you guys are going to show up for this because you are, I want to make sure you get some value. Okay. So we've talked this week a lot about like the base strategies. Okay. Give me a hello, give me a hi when you guys jump on. What are you guys doing today? This morning we had some breath work and then a ridiculous amount of, so we did a workout at the gym. If you guys don't know, I also own a CrossFit gym with my husband. We did a workout where as a female, you had to lift 17,000 pounds. As a male, it was 23,000. So it was that much weight in deadlift, that much weight in shoulder overhead. There's just something on my phone, and that much weight in back squats. So for me, it came out to be like around 110 of each of those movements at different weights. So I'm a little tired, but anyway, so we had some soccer, so it's been good. We're home and we're in a sweatshirt Saturday. So give me a hello when you guys are jump on. I know you're here. So who's here? What are you guys up to? Okay, so let's just jump into this. It's gonna be a shorter training. But I want you guys, so we talked this whole week about engagement, about getting leads, about how to, do a workshop and run a 30-day program. But I want you guys to think past this, okay? Because this is what I don't think a lot of people do, is they have either numbers in their head and they have no strategy to get to it, right? Like, I feel like everyone's either like, it's $100,000 or it's 500,000 or it's $1 million or like whatever that number is for you, or 100 million. There's no judgment on those numbers. But I feel like often we're just like, okay, I'm just going to work and I'm going to get there, okay? You need to have a plan. And I want to line out to you guys exactly how you can get to 250K by the end of this year. Hey, Amanda. By the end of, not this year, well, maybe this year, no, 2021. Okay, so let's talk 2021. So how exactly do you get to 250K, $250,000, okay? Would you like to make $250,000 next year? How you get to 100K maybe? Or even just that first number for so many new coaches and new entrepreneurs, I feel like that number is 10K, right? Like 10K a month feels for a lot of people like that, like elusive number that like once I get to 10K, then I'm going to feel like I made it. Okay. There's a lot of different ways to get to 10K. Okay. You can do one-to-ones, you can do groups, you can do a combination. Okay. But today I'm just going to talk to you about how you very simply build a group program, launch it multiple times over the year. That's not exhausting. Okay, launch it over the year, build on what you have, and get yourself to that revenue number. Okay, so hi Cindy. Yes, plan is so essential. So a lot of times, you guys, I feel like we're like, let's just go for it, right? And so we need to have the numbers, but then we need to know how many people do you need to talk to, how often do you need to be doing the things. Like you need to have an actual strategy. Because if you don't, you're not going to get there, right? And just writing it down, you guys, you're 20% more likely to do something if you write it down, okay? That's why I gave you guys the workbook for this week. So if you haven't gone in and done the workbook, go do the workbook, okay? So, and if you guys have questions, like totally I can jump on, answer questions, we'll talk about that. But I really want to get you guys excited about what 2021 could look like, okay? So this is how I run my business. This is how I teach a lot of my coaches to run their business. This is not the only way, okay? This is just one of the strategies. But to me, it's the strategy where you can actually leverage your time. You can build your business faster, right? I'm a big fan of groups, right? If you love one-to-ones, that's great. And one-to-ones are awesome. But it's hard to leverage your time with one-to-ones. And it's also hard to eventually pull yourself out of the business because 5-10 years down the road, maybe you don't want to have 20 one-to-one clients, right? So I want you guys to think about this. So pricing is a big thing. For so many people, it's like, I don't know what to charge. They struggle with worthiness of like, how much can I charge? Will people even sign up? All of those thoughts go through our heads, okay? So the first thing I want you guys to understand, and I said this the other day and I'm going to say it again because I think it is a huge problem in the coaching industry, is that coaches devalue their work, okay? They devalue the outcome that they're providing for people and they don't do enough of the benefit of the benefit of the benefit, right? When somebody works with you and they take care of their deep inner wounding, like what else happens in their life? They're happier, they're more confident, they're more abundant, which means they probably have better relationships. They probably go farther in business. They probably do things that they've never done. They probably make more money, right? Like all of those things happen But so often, I don't think we go far enough down that line, right? Like if you've had your own transformation, what changed when all of that happened for you, right? I know for me, like I had an eating disorder for a very long time. I counted calories, I counted macros. What I wasn't counting was the numbers in my business, right? And when I opened up space because I healed that part of me and I didn't have to worry about things like that, I had so much more brain power, right? And I was like, that was an actual thing that made me more money because, and today we're going to talk a lot about money. So like understand first that money is just an opportunity to create more goodness in the world for you and for other people, okay? But when I was like, wow, I'm not having to count calories, I'm not having to count macros, I'm not spending all this energetic time in that struggle, it opened up my ability to do a bunch more things in this world, which means that I had better relationships, I became a better mom, I made more money, I started a new business, right? Like all of this stuff happens. So I want you guys to really, if you haven't done that, like think about what you do, how does it affect people on a deeper level in their life, right? Like not just the surface level benefit, but what are the benefits and the benefits and the benefits and the deeper things that are going to happen in their life, right? On a emotional, on a physical, on a spiritual, and on a financial standpoint, okay? Because I was talking to somebody yesterday and we were just talking about how financial stress can overburden your whole life, right? Like if you're struggling to pay your bills, and I've been there, so I feel you, and I would wake up in the middle of the night thinking about it. It would be the only thing I could think about, right? I could, and let's be honest, you guys, I tracked macros as a way to stress about money, right? It was just a diversion. So that's another thing. But like I avoided it, I feared it, I hated looking at numbers, I didn't look at my bank account. Like I've been there. Avoidance is a real protector that so many of us go through, okay? But when you start to look at the numbers, you can't track things if you don't look at them, okay? You need to know how many people do you need? What is that gonna look like? Where are you gonna find them? How many conversations do you have to have a day to make this happen, okay? So I wanna give you guys the structure for that. Okay, so let's first talk about the strategy that I believe is the best that I found and what I teach, okay? So when I started my coaching business, more around the food and body and the lifestyle kind of coaching, thanks, Amanda. I love you, girl. So like when I started that coaching, I was like, okay, I'm going to do a big launch and I'm going to get 50 people. Well, the truth of the matter was I didn't have the audience size. Hey, Crystal, I didn't have the audience size to get 50 people, right? I'm at work, but I'm reading this to get me excited. Okay, and nervous, yay. So I didn't have the audience size to get 50 people, right? And like I have mentors and I have amazing people in my life that have, 30,000, 100,000, 250,000 people that follow them. And when they put out offers, it's very easy to sign up 90 or 100 people, right? Maybe not easy. It takes effort, but like you have the audience, right? I didn't have that audience and people didn't really, like I had transitions from like fitness and nutrition. So it was a little bit harder. And I was like, okay. So then I had this fear, well, like what if I launch and I get 2 people and I've just committed to spending all this time with these 2 people for the next 12 months and like that's not going to be worth it financially, right? And so then it was like, okay, we'll just go get more high ticket one-to-ones, which I think you should all do. But again, if you don't have the audience and you haven't taken the time to build it, that's going to be harder, okay? So I want to be honest with you guys of not just like these pie in the sky numbers. You can charge a lot of money for your services, but you've got to take the time to get there, to get in conversations, to build an actual sales pipeline, and to do the things, right? Treat it like a real business. If you treat it like a side hustle, if you treat it like a hobby, if you don't take the time to do the things, that's the kind of income you're going to make, right? And that's fine if that's what you want to do. But if you want to make this your career, you need to treat it like a business, okay? Which is why inside of Invincible Entrepreneur, we have accountability and we have weekly calls and there's a structure to line it out so you get it done, right? And it's not just like, okay, let's just hope that this happens, right? There's deadlines, there's timelines, there's all of these things. And inside of Invincible, you guys, the way it works is like, there's a module that will come out. You have a week to get through it. And then we talk about it. And then there's another one and then we talk about it. Okay. So it's not all of this stuff because I was the queen. I'm telling you guys, I was the queen of like buying stuff and listening to all of the videos and not doing the implementation, right? That was a protector. And there's a lot of you guys that do that, okay? So that's why inside of Invincible, it's 1 a week. You can't go ahead. You can always go back to stuff, but you can't move yourself ahead, okay? That's going to keep you on track and let you get this accomplished, okay? So this is what I teach and this is what I do, okay? So you're going to create your program or an outline of your program. You're going to understand the outcome of your people. Where are they and where do they want to go, okay? And then you're going to have your Facebook group. We already talked about building your Facebook group. Once you get to 300 people, which shouldn't take you very long, then you're going to actually do a 5-day challenge, right? Like I'm doing, workshop, whatever. I always use the word challenge and I hate that word, but you're gonna do a 5-day, there are workbooks. Yes, and there are workbooks. Thanks, Jen. You're gonna do a 5-day workshop, okay? So inside that workshop, it's gonna look a lot like what I did this week, right? You're gonna teach, you're gonna teach, you're gonna teach, you're gonna open the invitation for them to join you, and then you're gonna keep teaching, okay? So you are literally going to serve and help, okay? You're gonna do that for 5 days. You're gonna open the cart, you're gonna invite people to come in, okay? You're gonna talk to people, you're gonna be in the DMs, you're gonna see like who needs what you have, who do you wanna work with, and who do you wanna have along with you, okay? So let's say you do that, okay? Let's go easy. I don't want to say easy, but let's go a conservative number. Okay, let's say you do that. If you have 300 people in your Facebook group, the average conversion rate, right, is about 2 to 2.5%. Okay, which means you're going to get 7, maybe 9 or 10 people. Okay, let's go with 10 because you'll probably have people you have a little more contact with that you're going to work closer with that's going to budge that's going to bump that number a little bit higher, because for most of you inside your Facebook groups, if you only have 300 people, you know a lot of those people pretty well, okay? And so you already have the know, like, and trust factor for those people, okay? So let's say you launched in January, okay? So you did your 5-day, you opened your cart, and you started your first program in January. Let's say you got 10 people, and I'm just gonna throw out a number structure that was similar to how I started, okay? So let's say you charge $444 a month for your program, okay? Crystal, this is exactly what we talked about. So listen up, this can work for you, okay? So let's say you charge $444 a month, okay? You give people a discount for paying in full. I do the same thing, right? If you want to pay in full for Invincible, you save yourself 10%, okay? So let's say you get 10. That means you're making $4,040 in January and in February, okay? So you're going to serve those people, you're going to record all your modules, you're going to go live once a week, you can create modules, you can do whatever else you want. But essentially, you're doing one live call where you're teaching them what they need to know. You're recording those, and then those will then become the back end for the next class, okay? The next class, you're not going to coach live, so your beta class, you will coach live. After that, they watch the modules because you've already done the teaching, okay? So you've already done the teaching, they can watch the modules, and then you can show up and do some question and answer with them, or you can do mini one-to-ones, or you can do it however you want. But essentially, you use the first group to create content, okay? So you're getting paid to create the content, you're spending your time there, so you're not like creating it over here in a bubble, and then delivering it and doing that 2 different times, okay? And I actually thought for a while that I wanted to create modules, and then I forgot to record one of mine and I had to go back and re-record it. I'm telling you guys, for me, it's way more fun live. It's way more fun with the question and answer. I personally think the questions that get asked actually add a ton of value to the creation of your program, okay? That's my opinion. So let's say you launch in January, you get 10 people, okay? So January and February, we're just gonna use round numbers, you make about $4,500, okay? This is with no one-to-ones, this is with nothing else, this is starting at ground zero, okay? You can launch every 6 to 8 weeks, okay? Inside of your group, you can usually launch about every 6 to 8 weeks, okay? So let's say you only launch every 8 weeks, okay? So you launch in January. I have my spreadsheet in front of me because I'll forget. I like numbers, but they're not maybe my favorite thing. You launch again in March, okay? Now let's say you bumped your price. Let's say you went to $555. I like angel numbers. So let's just say you did a tiny bump. You can do a bigger bump, but let's say you did a little bump, okay? And you went to $555 and you got 10 more people. Now you have 20 clients that you're serving inside of groups, okay? So this is not taking a massive amount of your time. You had your 444, let's say 4,500 plus your 5,500. You are now at, if you do the actual numbers, you're at 9,990, okay? So by the beginning of month 3, you are at 10K, okay? That is super simple to do, okay? If you start a little bit higher, you could get there faster. If you get a couple more people, you can get there faster, okay? It is not that hard to get to 10K. It doesn't take 6 months. It doesn't take 9 months. It doesn't take 12 months. It doesn't take all the time that a lot of times we think we need to, okay? So let's carry this through. So now for the month of March and April, we're making 10K, round numbers, okay? Then you launch again in June, okay? Let's say you bump your price. Personally, I wouldn't do 666, but that's up to you. So let's say you do 667 and you get 10 more. okay? And at this point, you guys, you're now into June. You've been building your group. Your group should have way more than 300 people, right? If you had 100 people, say you started with 300, 4, 5, 6, 7, you'd have about 800 people in your group if you just added 100. These are very conservative numbers, okay? And let's be clear, these people are signing on to work with you for 9 months, 6 months, 9 months, or 12 months. This framework is built for 12 months because I truly 100% believe that if you work with someone for an entire year, they're going to get the exact results that they need. That is why Invincible Entrepreneur is a year, and it's not 6 months, it's not 9 months. There's a lot that goes on the back end in business, and I believe that you really need to have support and structure for those 12 months to keep pushing that needle and to keep growing your business, right? And growing your team and launching podcasts and doing all the things that you need to do to not just be a solopreneur, okay? If you want to be a solopreneur, that's fine. But to me, build a formula, build a team so that you can actually have some free time, okay? Again, I've said this, most entrepreneurs get into business because we want freedom. We want time freedom and we want money freedom, but we build structures in the beginning that don't serve us, and then we can't have time freedom, okay? Maybe you have money freedom, but you don't have time freedom. You can have a bunch of money if you can't ever go enjoy it. To my opinion, there's no point, okay? I've done that. I did that. We did that inside of our gym. So I know this from personal experience. Build a team sooner than you need to, okay? Thank you. That was a little tangent. Appreciate the hearts. Hello. Drop me a hello when you guys jump on. Let me know if you have any questions. But, okay, so now we say we're in June, okay? We had 10 more people, okay? Now we're at 30 people total in your program in groups of 10, okay? You don't have to be serving them all individually, okay? We can talk about how that works. That's a whole nother strategy. But say you have 30 clients, okay? And you're serving all of them inside of a group, okay? Now you're at 16,660, okay? You had your first 10 at 444, 4444, okay? Then you had 5550. Hey, Felicia. Hey, Aaron. Then you have 1660, okay? So that's for June and July, okay? Right? June and July. My number's wrong, okay? You launch again in August. You get 10 more. Your price went up now to 777, okay? Now you're at 24,430, okay? For August and September. No, that's wrong. July, August. I can't type the months. Okay, July, August. That's September. Okay, so you launch again in September. You launch again. What have I done? June, July. Oh, it just have a big gap. That's August. Okay, so you launch in September. My numbers are off. Anyway, the numbers make sense, but the months are off now. Okay, you launch again. Okay, now you're at 33,310 for the month. Okay, you do that for September and October, and then you launch again in November, and you add your last group now. So you do a group at 888, and then you do a group at 999. Okay, so every month you're just going up by 100. Okay, and you're doing 6 launches over the year. So now you have 6 groups. First group's 444, 555. You get the point. Okay, now you're at 43,330 a month. Okay, 43,330 for the last 2 months of the year. Anybody be okay with that? Like, I can make 40 grand. No? Okay. All right, guys, drop me a smile, drop me a yes, give me some hearts if that sounds like a good number to you, okay? If you add those numbers up, you will end up at 200,000, so $264,260. That would be all right? First year in business? That's more than $250,000, okay? That's a little bit over $250,000, okay? So how would that feel? And I'm gonna say this to you guys. You're only launching 6 times and you never have more than 60 clients, okay? At this point, I'm gonna be totally honest, you better have a VA, you probably need some mentors. Like, all of that money is not gonna carry through to the bottom line, but I'd say that's a pretty good first year, right? You're halfway or you're quarter to $1 million, okay? And then it scales quickly, right? As you go, you guys, you're going to get momentum, okay? So you want to think about this like it's a little tiny snowball in the beginning. You're like, oh, I got 10 people, and then I got 20 people. And then it starts to roll, and you get affiliates, and you get, it sounds horrible, Jen says, I don't want that much money, right? But you get affiliates, and you get referrals, and you get a sales team, and like that ball goes fast. And these are really conservative numbers. Like, if you got 10, then 12, then 15, then 18, and you can stop whenever you want if you're like, well, that's enough people, I'm good. Or you can make bigger jumps, right? You don't have to. Here's the thing about pricing too, you guys. You don't have to go, meep, 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 right? You can go from here to here. You're like, this is amazing. My people are killing it. They're getting tons of value. This is the outcome. It's going to bump, right? Like the program that I was in from when I enrolled to the next enrollment went up, it almost doubled, and it wasn't cheap, okay? So it went from, I'll just tell you guys, it went from 1,500 to 2,500, okay? In like 2 launches, okay? So, and that's a month, right? So there are people paying, a lot of people paying $2,500, $3,000, $4,000 a month for coaching. Okay, so I want you guys to wrap your head around like $400, $500, even $1,000 is not a big number in the grand scheme of things. Okay, and what are you providing for these people and what outcome are they getting? Okay, so that's how you get to 10K in 2-ish months. It'd be the beginning of the 3rd month. Okay, that's how you get to $250,000 your first year. If you keep that going, okay, and you just stayed at 10, I have the numbers for the next year. It's like 700. So 2nd year, if you stayed at that, you'd be at about 715,000. Okay. If you did, just for fun, just so you guys can see this, and I can send you the spreadsheet. I'm not a spreadsheet person, so it's not super pretty, but it's pretty fun to see the numbers. If you bumped and you went 10 your first launch, 12 your second, 15, 18, 20, and 20, and you only launched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's still 6 launches, but no more than 20 in each launch. Your first year, you'd be $5,000 under 400,000. Okay, you'd end up with 95 clients, so you'd have more clients. Okay, so you'd need more help. So think about that. And then revenue, year number 2, you'd be 1.5 million with 120 clients at a time. So if those numbers sound really fun, and you're like, wait, what? How do I do this, Courtney? Okay, first of all, it should sound scary. It should sound exciting, and not scary, but like, holy cow, this is so much more doable than I thought, right? So like, so many people are like, I just want to get to 10K. And that's awesome. If that's what you want to get to and that's where you want to be, that's awesome, right? That takes you 120,000 a year. But like, when you think about expanding these numbers, what can that do? Like, what would that give you? What would that provide? And for me, I've always had this goal. We've had this inside of our gym. Like, my goal has always been help other people make money, right? So to have people that I can hire and provide them a job, to provide growth for other people, to provide healing for other people, to have money to donate, to have money to travel, to have money to go places and volunteer your time, right? Like, what can you do with that money? What lifestyle would that allow you? And who would it allow you to help? And who would it allow you to serve? Okay. So like, I want you guys to think bigger about these numbers. And those are very like, those, again, these are conservative numbers, you guys. This isn't like, oh, this is crazy. Like you get 50 people in each launch, right? You might. I have friends that every time they launch, they do $1 million launches. $1 million launches, okay? Not $1 million years, $1 million launches. So I really want you guys to wrap your head around what's actually possible and a little bit get out of your own way. Hi, Crystal. So if this sounds exciting, if you're like, okay, Courtney, this sounds really cool, how on earth do I actually make this happen, okay? If that's how you're feeling, then you need to be inside of the Invincible Entrepreneur. And I'm gonna tell you guys, if you think about this, if I can show you how to make $250,000 in the next year, let's say, I think the total cost of my program is like $9,000. So what's the ROI to invest $9,000 in yourself over the course of 12 months to make $250,000? Seems kind of silly to not do it, right? So I want you guys not to think about, oh my gosh, it's a monthly payment, or oh my gosh, how am I going to afford that? I want you to think, what's the investment and what's the return on that investment, okay? That is what is most important in this, right? If the number scares you, if you feel like it's going to stretch you, good, it should, right? Because if you're stretched, you'll show up and get the stuff done, right? Otherwise, what happens? You're like, oh, I kind of did some stuff in my business and I probably should launch, but what am I going to say? And I'm even scared to make this first Facebook post, right? Like, you need support. You need those people. I get it. I've been there. Like, there's a reason I structure it the way that we're structured inside of Invincible, because I've made a lot of mistakes. You guys have been an entrepreneur for 20 years. I have made a lot of mistakes. Okay, I don't want you to make those same mistakes. And Jen, you are like exactly where I was gonna go. Okay, so there's ROI, return on investment. Okay, then there's COI. Nobody talks about this. What is the cost of not investing? What is the cost of not jumping? What is the cost of not moving to the next level? It's a lot, you guys. Maybe $250,000. What if you do nothing? What if you do nothing? What if you sit around for a couple months and you try all the things and you have all the struggles and all of your fear shows up and you have no one to help you and you make no money? What if you did nothing for the first 3 months of the year? How much money is that going to cost you? That's going to cost you, oh, I'm on the wrong sheet. I don't know. Somewhere around 20K, right? 20K if you do nothing. That's hard. 250,000 if you do nothing, right? And I want you guys to think about this too. How much money did you invest to become a coach or to join your company or to start your business? Like, how much money did you invest? You owe it to yourself to learn how to run a business, right? You learned how to be a coach. You owe it to yourself now to learn how to run a business, okay? And I'm going to tell you guys, we did no marketing, okay? We owned a gym for 6 years with zero marketing, okay? And it was fine. It was word of mouth. It was fine. We were fine. And if you know me, you know I hate that word, but that's where we were. Very quickly, our situation changed and we had to learn to market. And my husband and I looked at each other and we're like, why didn't we do this 10 years ago? Because had we done it in the beginning, we would have been in a whole different place. Okay, when our building got sold, we would have been like, whatever, we're going to move. We're going to go build our own building. But we hadn't taken the proactive steps to think bigger and to grow bigger and to learn how to really run a business well and how to grow it with ease, with grace, and to make it work, okay? So I'm trying to save you guys 5, 6, 10 years of struggle or just quitting because you're frustrated, okay? You got the training, you know what you're supposed to be doing. Now you owe it to yourself to actually learn how to run the business, grow the business, figure out how to get, higher ticket clients, write a book, start a podcast, like go create a legacy, not just a job. Okay. So that's why I want you guys to see these numbers. I super appreciate all of you. If you have questions about Invincible, what it looks like, any of that stuff, let me know. I'm going to go over it a little bit more on Monday in detail of the structure and how it works. But I want you guys to see these numbers and I want you to see how possible it is. And then I want you to actually be honest with yourself and say, if I don't have a coach and a team and accountability and a strategy and a structure, what are the chances that I'm going to get to the $250,000 mark in my first year? Just be honest with yourself. Because I know for me, without all of those things, I didn't get it. I didn't make it. Okay. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. I hope these numbers made you excited and a little bit nervous. If you want to see more of the breakdown, let me know. But super appreciate you guys being here on a Saturday. I'll be back tomorrow at noon. I'm going to interview Miss Erin, who is one of my awesome students right now. So come listen to her story, catch her live, and let me know if you have questions. Calendar's open for Monday. So if you want a spot, just if you have questions, if you're like, wait, how do I do that? Right? Again, you guys, if you get on the phone with me, it's not a sales pitch, okay? I want to help you. I want to see where you're at. I want to see if we're a good fit, and I want to see if I can help you, okay? And even if you have no interest in joining Invincible this time, but you have questions on how to make these strategies work, let's get on the phone. I'm happy to help you, okay? So Erin's here, so we'll see Erin tomorrow. Jen, thanks for being here. Everybody else that's here live that I can't see anymore. I appreciate you guys. Go have an amazing Saturday. We're gonna go look at some Christmas lights. Tomorrow, my little one turns 5, so we've got a birthday party. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna go take a nap and enjoy some time. So, love y'all, appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks, Jen. Bye, you guys. Hey, Karina. All right, guys, have a great day.